Hello and welcome to the Broke But Not Broken podcast. This is episode Y, and we have reached the finish line pretty much of the podcast, season 1, as I'm calling it. We still got one more episode, of course, episode Z, coming real soon. I've been pretty on point with my scheduling, so hopefully I can keep that up going into this fresh new 2023 year. Again, I am your host, Destocott, aka Des, and thank you for listening. Last time I talked about my time student teaching during the spring of 2022. In summary, it was a really tough time, and it ended up with me being pretty much traumatized, and logistically I failed my student teaching course. So what does that mean? Well, to be more precise, I did not fail my student teaching. I got a letter grade of C+, and finding out later, a C+ basically means nothing. Passing the class means nothing, because in order to be certified as a New York State teacher, and in order to get my master's degree, I need to receive a B or higher in student teaching. AKA, any grade less than a B means nothing. Which is really annoying, because I would have rather have gotten an F than a C+, because at least the C+ wouldn't just be a tease in my face, you know? But that aside, I had to make a decision. I had to choose to drop the program, which I was only 2 more classes away from my master's degree, which I would have been okay with, right? Because, like I mentioned last time, I didn't want to be a teacher anymore. So dropping the degree wouldn't be terrible on my career. But at the same time, if I dropped my degree, I might beat myself up about the fact that I was 2 classes away from a master's degree, which just having it would be, I would like to think, mentally good for me, you know? I just think it'd be nice to have some sort of, I know in the end of the day a degree means nothing, but I think I would be happy receiving a master's degree regardless of if I pursue a career in the field of my degree. Anyways, either I drop the program or I repeat student teaching. I repeat going to a school unpaid 40 hours a week, and knowing that I could potentially fail again. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it because I don't think it would have been good for my mental health, and it just felt fruitless. But I'm the type of person who doesn't like to decide things for myself. I'm a follower at heart, and I think that's okay, honestly. Not everybody has to be a leader. So I went out to my friends, my advisors, professors I respected, and in the end, they encouraged me to try again. They agreed how silly it would be to miss out on my degree, being so close to finishing it. So I sucked it up. I soaked for the entire of the summer, and I was not ready when summer concluded and fall started, but I had to repeat student teaching. So now I'm student teaching again in the fall of 2022, which was just the end of last year. And to keep it short, my experience can be summed up in one word. That word is not bad or terrible. That word is not good or amazing. That word would be better. my experience was better than my spring experience. The first red flag for me was that the high school I was working in for the fall was within the same building as the high school I worked in the spring. So there was huge PTSD right there. I know it sounds a little weird, but yes, sometimes there can be multiple high schools in the same building. But yeah, it felt like I had to go back to like my own supervisor, my new supervisor, which I'll talk about in a second, described it as like seeing your ex-girlfriend again, which I mean, I never had that experience, but that is kind of on point. Anyways, knowing that the same building did not give me a strong start of hope. However, I was given a new supervisor who I actually knew already. I worked with them before, or they guided me before about some things. And again, this was another double-sided sword, but from my perspective this time. Because I really liked the supervisor. They're a very nice person. It made it that much more weight on my neck to not fail because because they believe in me and I didn't really believe in myself. If I were to fail again, that would feel so much more worse. Like it would be like triple the effect of pain on myself. But yeah. I was given a new host teacher. This time I really was trying to be direct with them. And I was telling them about, I want you to treat me like it's my first time student teaching. And I want you to really, in essence, just shove me in the spotlight and make sure I'm, force me to teach, basically. And, he was a really cool dude. He was only 1 year older than me, which really gave me some perspective, honestly. It's just another another person in my life who makes me feel like I'm falling behind. But that's on me. But in essence, in summary, it was a much better keyword again experience in teaching. The kids were much better. I still am struggling with controlling the classroom. Kids, they don't want to learn, so it's hard for me to reel them back in sometimes. That could be a dictation thing on my end, which is one of the reasons why I want to do this podcast in the first place, and an assertiveness issue. But again, overall, my experience was better. I had good moments. I had some good repertoire with good rapport. Actually, is the word I want to use. I had good rapport with my host teacher. I had a good rapport with the students. I wish I had better rapport with my host teacher. In another timeline, I wish we could have been like good friends, because I thought he was a really cool person. But unfortunately, that's where my introverted and awkward self comes into play. So that's like a whole separate thing. But it's fine, not everyone's gonna be your friend, and that's okay. So the experience ended well. I'm trying to think if anything else and the main point I wanted to talk about is that it was better, and yes, I passed my student teaching. I received a grade that was good enough to pass, and now in this upcoming spring of 2023, I'll just take my two, in my own opinion, relatively easy courses. Nothing special about them, just that I have to get them done. And then I'll have a master's degree, hopefully by this May of 2023. And then I can see where to pivot my career into, because I don't want to be a teacher, but at least I have that in the back of my pocket. So what I'm looking for now in this hiatus time between my student teaching conclusion and my spring semester upcoming. I'm looking for a job. My best bet right now is working as a substitute teacher at the high school I was just student teaching at, which they offered me the position. I'm currently in the middle of filing paperwork for that. It's not what I want to do, but it looks like my best option right now, mainly because the pay is pretty solid. It's about $200 a day, and I can choose how many days I want to work. My goal is 3 days a week, because if I'm gonna work 5 days a week, I might as well work as a full-time teacher instead of a substitute. And if I work 4 days a week, I might as well work 5 days a week. At least that's the way I'm reasoning it out. So 3 days is solid. It gives me time to breathe and stuff, and also I can be focused on my classes too. So I just make sure I don't mess up on those. So that's my best bet job. I'm looking at a couple of other teaching positions. I'm trying to be really picky because if I'm going to be a teacher, I need it to fit my strengths, and that would probably be higher level math courses. Which, super ideally, what I would really love to try is to teach in a college setting. I've applied to every college that would have openings. I'm waiting to hear back. Part of me has doubts I can do it, but a part of me has like a second wave of re-encouragement after passing the student teaching experience, because I know for sure that college kids are much more behaved than high school, and I really felt like I got a grasp of how to deal with high school students and support them. So yeah, I feel kind of excited at the opportunity to teach in a college if it was given to me, and I think I could really do a good job. In all honesty. So yeah, I'm still trying to look for college teaching college position. It's tough, I'm not the most qualified candidate. Of course, if you're working in a college, they would love someone who has a PhD, which I currently do not have. But if I could find some kind of part-time teaching position at a college, that would do me just as well right now. I'm also looking at a couple of non-teaching positions, just temporarily. A little silly. I mean, I'm way above it right now, but I'm looking at positions at coffee shops, just for some part-time work, just to fill in the gaps, just so I don't have to travel. Something I can walk to, just to make some pocket money, to just have. I feel like I should be working. I've not worked in a while, at least for income. So I think it's important. I'm taking it a bit slow right now because I'm giving it a week or so for the holidays to see if any of my teaching applications jump in, because I don't want to apply for a job and then end up leaving it quickly, no matter how important or unimportant that job would be to me, just because I feel like it seems a bit disrespectful. It just goes against my personal code. So I'm giving it a week or two before I decide on anything specific. I do have time. So, but I would like to also get a job as soon as possible. Any kind of job. Yeah, so substitute teaching is my current best bet, and hopefully I can get that paperwork done real soon. It seems to be on pause right now. I don't know why. Maybe I should give them a call tomorrow, which I probably will do. Oh, today is January 8th. It is a Sunday, and it is the 10th anniversary of 21 Pilots' first official record, not independently published, Vessel. So, shout out to the album that got me into 21 Pilots, the band that is currently my number one band. I am thankful to that album. It's a masterpiece album. Everybody should listen to 21 Pilots' album, Vessel. They re-released a 10-year anniversary version of their vinyl, which I really want to pick up, but I'm broke, so I'm hoping I could buy a little bit later without having to deal with any issues of out of stock. So yeah, they did a 3-hour live stream today. They played through an acoustic version of every one of the songs on Vessel. They showed a couple of behind the scene clips, a couple of fun facts, little skits here and there. It was a good time. Seeing a little blast in the past. I think 10 years ago I was still in high school, so I've listened to them since high school, which is pretty cool. I'm 25 now, turning 26 real soon. Wait, I think I'm 26. Oh no, I don't know how old I am. I don't want to know. How old am I? I am 26 years old. I'm about to turn 27. That sounds so sad to say. I feel so old. Although everyone I say that to will probably disagree with me. But I can only feel what I feel, and that's what I feel. I started preparing for my next season of this podcast. I have a couple of ideas of how I want to change things, just minor improvements or tweaks, which I'll discuss maybe in the next episode because I kind of want it to be closer to the. I want the information to be closer to the last episode, closer to the first episode of the next season, so that way there's like a little bit of a showing of what I'm trying to do between what I say and what I do. I'm kind of having a little bit of dead air right now. The reason for that is I don't want to talk about my next topic, which is about my moving, because I kind of want to say I don't want to start that and have to cut it off, because that is what would happen potentially. I'd rather save that for the last episode. And in terms of notes, I'm pretty much at a blank. I haven't really been doing much in terms of productivity. Been watching shows, which I haven't completed yet, so I don't have much to talk about. Haven't seen any movies. Haven't checked out any new music. Haven't bought anything. Well, I bought a couple of things, but that's related to the moving. So I want to bunch it all together. I haven't done anything exciting. I haven't been going out as much, at least like outside of walking distance, because I don't want to pay for transportation because I'm broke, as I mentioned earlier. I'm trying not to waste. I don't want to just go somewhere just to go somewhere. At least while I have no income. Although I should maybe go out more for like some general walks. Where I moved to, which I'll talk about next time, just some nice parks. So I could opportunity with that. I'm working on some plans in terms of personal stuff like weight loss, which I'll talk about next time as well. I just kind of want to fine tune the details before I talk about it. Also, I've been meal prepping a little bit in preparation for that weight loss journey. I'm going to try out some overnight oats tonight. I never tried that before. I usually shit on oatmeal constantly, but I never tried overnight oats, so I'll give that one a shot. If it tastes good enough, I'm willing to add it to my meal plan because it's really easy to make and the calories are right where they need to be and the health benefits seem pretty good. All right, I think I'm going to stop it here. Thank you for listening to the Broke But Not Broken podcast and have a good day.